to like regret the hand I didn't get. I'm trying my best to play the hand that I was dealt.
Hi, welcome to Life Generally, hosted by me, Jen Lofstrom,
and me, Jen Tran.
We are Jen Squared, and this podcast is about life as a Jen.
Yay! Hey Jen, how's it going?
It's going. It's been a little bit of a week, but I'm here and I'm excited to talk to our guest and our besties.
Go ahead and introduce our guest today. Her name is Holly. Holly, say hi to our besties.
Hi, besties.
Holly and I known each other on the before times of the before times. So when we knew each other, Holly was a man. And then later in our span of, I cannot believe it's over 10 years, actually, since we've known each other.
Over a decade.
It's over a decade.
I have another question for you. How much do you want me to correct you on stuff, or do you want me to just let it flow? Because like I
if
have
there's things that you want to say that you should let us know.
No,
Just pause us.
Yeah,
because we don't want to run over you. This is your journey and your story.
Yeah,
totally. First of all, I just want to say thank you for letting me be on here and talk, of course. But I wanted to say two things. First of all, I'm one trans person. I don't speak for the entire trans community.
Right, of course.
All of our journeys are very different and very unique, and might not be the same as other was. The thing I wanted to like pause on this one was the term "was a man."
Okay.
Okay.
Because the truth of the matter is, and we'll get this deeper, I was never a man. I was just really good at cosplaying one for a long time, but like I was presenting male is probably like the way that I would like
explain it.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And this isn't me being like nitpicky. It's just it's for some folk, it's like they never want to be like
I know. Yeah.
At all, you know.
Yeah.
The trauma. So, but yeah. So yeah. I know that this is probably going to be a lot of big minefield for you all. So
yeah. Please understand, we're not trying to step on any mines.
You're good.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
Look, but just let us know if there's anything that we say that's like, touchy or not correct. We want to get it all correct. I'll never be
offended, but I will correct you.
Yeah, that's great. Perfect. Yeah, I'm all about it. That's great.
The one thing that I get a lot of is like, there's a lot of trans people that don't ever want to educate. And that's because, and for a reason. Like, and honestly, I understand that. But the sentence that I hate is something to do with like Google is free, or you should Google that, or I don't want to tell you go and look at Google. I hate that sentence. I'll tell you why. Because I read Google. I know how search engines work and SEO, and I know the stuff that leads its way to the top. So if you say, hey, go Google it, or go Google what this is, and you get to those first intros and you see all the terrible stuff that's written about trans people on there, guess what? Now you think, oh, a trans person told me to find this and I found it, then this must be true. And I can't do
No, that's a really good point, because even like AI, they say AI is like pretty racist and discriminatory. So like you can't.
Absolutely. It's pulling from the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So and it's okay, I think, in my interactions, and I'm totally an ally, totally have friends LGBTQ plus, and I think that I just like try to just ask them what they want, but also tell people ahead of time, like, hey, look, I'm still navigating this, and I knew you before, and I still know you now, but I want to make sure I don't, upset you, and but you don't have to tell me anything. Like, if you don't want to tell me that, like, I don't have to tell you my story. So why would you have to tell me yours just because you're trans? That doesn't make any sense,
And that's part of the reason why I wanted to come on. Well, one, because Jen's my friend. And I said, yeah, sure.
You're like, what's up?
But also too, like, I like being that person that could be the guide point for folks, so that they don't have to go and try to find any random trans person and try to get information out of them. Like, because it's really hard to be trans in this country right now, and in this world, not just this country, but everywhere. So, so if I can do my part in giving and the information I have the best possible, and of course, again, I have been wrong before, and I will be wrong again. So if I'm wrong about something, even I will screw up. Please.
Of
sorry,
course.
But if I can offer anything, it's just a bridge so that people can understand trans people. I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to talk a lot. I'm so sorry. I'm going to
It's
talk.
okay.
You got to
We
Talk.
talk
want
on
you
the
to talk. This
podcast.
Yeah.
is all good. This
Take
is
a
all
This is why
break.
we're here.
Take a break. Take a break, ladies, because the Holly train's here. Um, I had a very good professor, Professor Mark Lewis at Norco College.
Mhm.
And this is the after times after I left the company that we worked for. Um, and he's a communications professor, and he told me the sentence I'll never forget. He said, "In the absence of information, people will make stuff up." That's how it works. That's how
Yeah.
communication is.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hmm.
like the human brain decides, well, there needs to be information here. I don't know what's here. I can't find the information, so I'm just gonna guess and assume it's right until someone tells me it's wrong. That happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So let me be the person to fill those gaps so you're not making it up.
Yeah.
Or you're not, or people listening to you don't go, well, I didn't know about that. Well, now you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. So also
I
shout
think
out Mark
that's
Lewis.
great. Yeah. What up, Professor?
Yeah. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
thank you for being on the show
Yeah.
and thank you for being my friend for so many
Yeah.
years.
Sorry we
Thank you
gapped
for
so long.
being a friend. Sorry.
I didn't mean to let it go so long, but people drift apart. It happens. So I'm sorry about that, but it's
Don't
good to
worry.
see you.
It's always
Life.
season of friendship, like,
Yeah.
comes in and out. It happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you left the company, it was so abrupt. Like I was just like, what the hell?
Oh,
Yeah.
so this is part of this. Honestly,
Uh-huh.
like, can I get into it? Because I think this is one of the earlier questions you sent me, but
Yeah.
like 2016 is when I left. I remember it very, very vividly
Mm-hmm.
because I was living in a place, I was living in a house, someone else's house. Someone owned the house. Their parents lived there, but he owned the house and his parents lived in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
And then I lived in their bonus room, right?
Okay.
Hmm.
And I was not making a ton of money. I was doing, or
It was customer
sorry, it's
service. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
terrible money. I was making less money than I was working for the company I worked previous because I worked at a big retail chain company that sells computers that sound like fruit. And I left there to come to the company that we worked together for to take a job that was less paying because I was not happy working at the other place. And one of our coworkers, our fellow coworkers, was working at there and said, "You should come over." And I did. And I applied and I got in and it was great. And then they systematically started taking away things from us. You know how companies do that, where you're
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
we're offering you free juice Fridays, and there's a ping pong tournament, and there's dinner, but not for customer service because you gotta stay on the phones.
Yeah.
That was how it was. So it was like all these cool things were happening. We
Gosh.
couldn't do it.
Because
And then
you're not the people. You're talking to people and helping
yeah,
people, so
we
you get punished.
so we have a thing where like we're having a big old boozy party in the corner, but customer service has got to stay on the phone, so you can't be part
Oh.
of it.
Yeah.
Or we're doing this thing, and it was like, okay, well, this kind of sucks, right? But so I'm in a job that I didn't really love with cool people, a lot of cool people that I
Yeah.
really
A
some of
lot.
my still
Long
talk to.
friendships. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was not, and then I also had this deep thing inside where like, well, I have this like really the secret I've been like burying in my heart that I'm
Mm-hmm.
like at that point I'm like I'm taking this to my grave. No one's gonna know this. This is a thing that
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell a soul about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna try my best to be content with this life, and I really wasn't. And my mom was like, I've seen you come over to the house so many times, and every time you're very quiet, you don't talk. You're just, and for me, that's a lot. You seem
Yeah.
like I
You're so
talked already.
talkative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So imagine me showing up and saying, "Oh, hi, how are you?" Dead in the eyes, nothing happening. Like there's no heart, there's no soul, like nothing,
Yeah.
right? And it was depression.
Right.
That
Uh-huh.
was depression. And so my mom's like, you need to go back to school. You need to do something.
Yeah.
What can we do? So my parents let me move into the house, move back home so I can go to school without rent.
Which
Go
is
back to
awesome.
college.
Yeah.
I quit. So I'm like, this is obviously not serving me. I need to get out of here. I told
Yeah.
our lead that one day I'm like, hey, thanks for letting me work here, but I'm putting my 2 weeks in. I'm taking off. I'm going back to school. And they were surprised. They were like, you want to leave? And I'm like, no, I don't want to have to leave. This is a difference. I have to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, this is a soul-sucking job. And it's not your fault. It just is what it is. And
Yeah.
these people that we're working for, that we're representing, are the problem. And for me, that I couldn't handle this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, that wasn't even the hardest job I had because like after college, I went to work for another job that was also a call center. And that was worse because at that point I had already started the process of like during college, my college years, I was like kind of like experimenting and talking to
Hmm.
people, taking people out. And that job I had to leave because I knew I couldn't transition there. I just
Oh,
knew
okay.
I knew I couldn't
Oh.
come out on the job. And I was like, this is also terrible work. Phone centers are hard. Don't.
Oh,
I've done it.
100%. Yeah.
I did customer service. I understand. And it's very sad sometimes, and you can't help everybody, and it's
Yeah.
just a hard position to be in.
And especially for a trans person,
I'm sure.
because this is the voice I have after voice surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine what I sounded like before, Jen knows, but like after voice surgery, I sound somewhat passable, but I still get called sir on the phone all the time. Now, imagine if I'm on the phones with like doctors or whoever and I'm talking to them, they're gonna call me sir all the time, regardless of what they think, because that's what they hear. So
Yeah.
call centers are not the best place for trans people. And I'm like, I
Oh
knew
yeah.
I couldn't be at that job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, but I did. I made the moves because at some point you hit a wall where you're like you have a choice. This
Mm-hmm.
choice is you either do what you go and do or you don't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right. It's
that's
like
that's
it's
choice.
either you live your life or you don't. You have to live your truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, when I remembered you,
Yeah. I was very handsome and charming. I know I
yeah,
get it
you
a
were,
lot.
I have to say, you were very, very kind, also like outgoing, right? You were very, your aura was very friendly,
Mhm.
stuff like that. But the one thing I remembered the most was like you were so into sports, and I'm not now when you're telling me
Yeah.
like you felt like you were cosplaying, I'm like, was that cosplay or you're really into sports?
Well, no, I still love sports.
Okay.
I watch I There are some things that don't go. First of all, there are lots of women in sports, and
I love sports. I watch football and hockey.
yeah,
So yeah.
I'm still a sports fan. Just because that community is full of toxic people doesn't mean I can't love the thing that I love, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Do I go
Right.
to games less? Yeah, a little. I still go every once in a while, but like for the most part, I try to stay home and watch at home, or I'll watch a lot of content about sports. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Hmm.
my football team just won the Super Bowl last year, so
Oh
like
yeah.
I'm excited about sports. I love sports. My baseball team is garbage, and they will be garbage for a long time, but I still love them because that's
Because you're a true fan and not a fair weather person.
exactly.
Yeah.
But coming out as trans doesn't take that away. I think that's a common misconception. Is like
Hmm.
people think, oh well, this is what people think. Oh well, you were a guy who loves sports, so now you're a girl, so you can't love sports. And that does two suppositions which are untrue. One, women can love and do love sports a
Mm-hmm.
lot. There are women in sports right now. There are female like coaches and
Professional
things
athletes
Yeah.
and yeah.
yeah. And the other thing is that you have to give away everything you loved when you transition, and that's absolutely not true. Now, there are some things that I'm more open about loving now that I wasn't so open about loving before because of stigma or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And in the years between when I came out and when I was working at the place we worked, I was less and less stigmatized. I stopped caring about what people thought.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
Yeah.
stopped caring about what people thought about me. I like, soft feminine things. I like the color pink. I like Sailor Moon. I like a bunch of shit that like, oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't curse.
You can cuss.
You
It's
can
okay.
Oh,
totally
it's okay.
cuss.
Yeah,
Don't
we
worry.
don't
Yeah.
This is a
care.
Sorry,
cuss.
We're not gonna beep you.
Yeah, don't worry.
I
We
feel
are
like if you're
cuss
playing
pro,
if you're
podcast.
playing podcast bingo out there, you're like, oh, I apologize for cussing. Sorry. I got a bingo. But yeah, it's more just now incorporating those things into my life as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to getting rid of some things. Now there were some things in my life that I was pretending to like that just don't
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit about cars. I really don't. I hate spiders. I hate spiders. I will not kill a spider for you. And I pretended to do that in the past. But like so there are some pursuits that are considered masculine that like and a lot of the like too is I remember very clearly there was a time where I would be like at a party or like at a poker night or something and like locker room talk would happen. You know, like the
Right.
stuff
Mm-hmm.
that like a certain person that is running the country right now bragged about, right?
Right.
That happens. And like for me, I just kind of have to like swallow that because I'm like I never participated in it because I
Hmm.
didn't believe it, but also like I don't like I wasn't on the corner checking out like women or anything. I was like, oh, those are nice shoes. Like like
Yeah.
I was doing that kind of thing. I was admiring them for their personality and who they are and that they're strong people, but like also because I wanted to be them. I didn't want to just go hook up with people like a lot
Uh-huh.
of guys. So that was a mask. That was
Yeah.
very clearly a mask. Whenever
That
I would
is
be like,
so
yeah.
fascinating because, like, yeah, I remember, okay, your cohort of people, and me
Oh
and
yeah.
the other trainer, like typically all cohorts that come from each training, sessions or
Yeah.
new hires orientation, like you guys are very close because that's like your brethren, right?
It becomes
And
your clique. Yeah.
yeah, your clique, your peeps.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was one of the things like I heard like somebody said like you were saying like you were I heard you were checking out women at the company and I'm all like which is totally fine. People check out people in general like
I
but
never did.
yeah, and if it was
I'd never
like
But
get
that
I
wasn't legit.
yeah, now I'm all
You're
like okay, now this totally makes sense. Like I'm all like
just admiring them,
I
not
also never dated anybody when I was at the company. You didn't notice that? Like I was always single.
yeah, I thought it was like more like you keeping it professional because
Well, yeah. I
yeah,
mean, I did that.
yeah,
I'm always professional, but
yeah.
also like I had no interest in, I mean, I still date women.
Mm-hmm.
I'm considered a trans lesbian. I'm actually trans pansexual, but
Okay.
that's
okay.
neither here nor there. We can get into that later if you want to,
Yeah, yeah.
because that's a big question, gender and sexuality.
Yeah.
Anyway, but like, yeah, no, I would spend time like I'm a chameleon.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would spend time like trying to blend in so I didn't stand out. Because when you are trans and when you are secretly trans, we have like words for people who are trans in the closet, which, like the term egg. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you've heard egg before, but
Yeah.
if you have it, eggs are essentially like people that either haven't figured out that they're trans yet or have figured out, but they just won't refuse to come out. Their eggs haven't hatched yet,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Oh, is that why? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That don't go around spreading calling people eggs though.
I'm not going to, but I've heard the
Yeah.
term from
Yeah.
other trans
But I
people that,
was one. And so like
yeah.
I didn't want to call any attention to the fact. Like if I had stood there and gone, I don't like talking about women, like red flag. Boom. People,
Mm.
first of all, I wouldn't have been as close with that group as I was. And two, people wouldn't have talked to me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that is for me, I need people. I'm a people person.
You don't
I'm a
want to be
people person.
isolated.
I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
One of the hardest things about being trans is the isolation, like being alone, because it's part of it. It
So
sucks.
were you I remember when you years later, many years
Mhm.
later, you posted that you were transitioning on Facebook and I was like, "Oh dude, this person's so brave to actually announce it." And then you also mentioned like if you don't like that, you can unfriend me. And I'm all like in my head I'm all like you are such a great person. I don't understand if anybody would unfollow you. You know what
And
I
it did.
mean? So that's why I was just kind of
Yeah.
like whatever.
That was very much on purpose. I had two Facebooks going.
Mm-hmm.
One
Oh, did
Facebook for the
you?
people that already knew I was out, and another Facebook for like the people that like my old Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And so the switchover was here's my Facebook. You can add me if you want. If you don't want to, no hard feelings. There's the door.
Yeah.
But I don't want you in my life. If you don't want to be part of my life, I'm not going to fight for you to be part of mine.
Yeah.
You won't,
Right.
you know? And that was how I did it. And a lot of people came. Most came. In
Yeah.
fact, some people that ended up adding later, not because they didn't want to be part of my life, but they just didn't see the post, which I felt bad about.
And they weren't on Facebook
They were on
then.
Facebook that day,
Yeah.
So like, but that strategy worked
Mm-hmm.
because I was able to find out immediately who supported me right off the bat. Like maybe didn't know exactly who didn't support me, who was indifferent after that, but the people that supported me were like, immediate ad,
Yeah.
love you,
Right.
ad,
Yeah.
And within like a week, I had like probably 1,500 people on my old Facebook. I had about 1,000 on my new one, like within a week because they just came. And
And
I
there were
did
1,000 people who knew and still liked you and still wanted to be your friend.
Yeah.
exactly. And also like, I mean, I'm pretty vocal about like my politics and about my like lifestyle. So like there were a lot of people that were like, we already knew.
Yeah, they were like kind of picking up on it
Yeah.
already.
As you start dropping breadcrumbs,
Yeah.
closer to the time,
Hmm.
we'll figure it out,
Right.
painted nails, which I don't have painted nails because of rent fair, but like painted nails or like oh, your ears are pierced all of a sudden, or like, oh, you're a little bit lighter on your feet right now because you're practicing your walk, whatever. But that stuff is like it's telegraphed,
Mm-hmm.
like it's on purpose. It's like
Right.
opposite of peacocking, whatever it is,
Hmm.
Yeah.
And like the people that are like, I have a lot of friends that are like not in my life anymore because they were sports people or they were, macho people that liked me because I was funny, and like the being funny is a coping mechanism,
Right.
as a way to like fight off depression. It's like
Hmm.
the tears of a clown thing is real.
Uh-huh.
Like
Yeah.
it's the thing that ended up we lost Robin Williams because of it. You know, we
Yeah.
so many great people because of it, because of mental health issues, because we don't ever know because you're like, oh, well, that person's funny. There's no way that they could be sad or depressed. But
Mm-hmm.
reality, even the time when I knew you, Jen, before, I was deep in it. And it was because I couldn't live the way I wanted to live. I was stuck and it sucked. And I couldn't put a name to it even then. I was like, something's wrong, really,
Uh-huh.
really badly wrong, you know. So,
So, like, how did you kind of rediscovered yourself? Like,
How did your egg hatch?
yeah, how did you find like bloom? You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
even like you know what like okay,
sure.
during the time at Curio, like there was a deep depression that I had or like a hole in myself. Like and I would describe it to people and they were saying like that's depression. I'm like, "No, this is not depression," but it was kind of like I'm in a dark valley and it's
Yeah.
the valley is slow like the light is slowly engulfing me and I'm just like trying to figure out how to either live in the little light that I have or live in darkness, you know, type of deal.
Sure.
And so
Yeah.
that's why I was just like, yeah, how did you find yourself? Like how did you
Yeah.
know?
That's, I mean, it's a great question. It's the question, right? How did you ever, when did you know? When did you learn
Yeah.
you were trans, right? When did you figure it out? For me, this it has multiple answers because it comes in phases.
Mhm.
Right.
It's like the opposite. It's like the Lemony Snicket series of very fortunate events, you know? But for me, it was like I said, at the time, I knew that I was different way younger than I assumed.
Mhm.
I would say probably 12 or 13.
Okay.
Okay.
And I like even before that, I was like I didn't care, but I spent most of my time either hanging out by myself or being very shy and or talking with like connecting with girls more than I connected with guys and like all that stuff. I was always like in high school, I was in the theater, I was in dance, like I would be very artistic and poetic
Mhm.
and musical, things that are like traditionally feminine things or tied to and maybe unnecessarily and unfairly, but tied to people who are in the LGBTQ community because of that. And like and
Right.
yes, there are a lot of queer people in that community. And we use queer as a loving term, of course. We're not
Hmm.
using it as a hate term.
Mhm.
Right.
Never, but we've taken it back. We're queer and we're proud of it.
I love it.
But like a lot of people are in that community, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are automatically in that community. I know a lot of wonderful straight cis men who are also amazing singers and dancers, and some of them are on Broadway.
Mhm.
You know, people I've met in my journeys are like, you are a very cisgender man, but man, you have a great baritone. You know, like, wow, you can do a tertiary better than anyone I've ever seen. You know. So, but for me, it really was. I was connecting with that community because of that. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely in this community. And I always have the thought, even like for a while, I had the thought. I moved to New York for a while before I came back, and in that time, I was like, I was spending a lot of time with my best friend, who is a gay man,
Mhm.
and his friends were all very much in the community, and I
Mhm.
was like, oh, I wish I was gay.
Mhm.
I wish I was gay so I could be cool like them, you know?
Right.
Not realizing that's like, oh no, that's you are, honey. You are as gay as they come. You just haven't found your flavor yet, you know? And
Right.
like
Right.
and so like that kind of stuff like would pop in my brain, you know?
Hmm.
But I wasn't attracted to men, so I was like, well, I'm not gay, so I'm not attracted to men. I must not be gay. No, I'm just a lesbian. You know, I like women, but I am one, so therefore gay.
Right.
Uh, but so early on that first part, I was always as kind of some of the signs, and like whenever like in high school when somebody was like, "Oh, it's cross dress day, you want to play?" I'd be like, "Oh, I don't really want to, but if you want to make me, you know." Oh, I lost truth or dare. I guess you'll have to dare me to put a bra on. You know,
Yeah.
that happened several times. Nobody called me on it. Um, but then you get into like the first run of college and then you go to the workforce. Of course, I worked at, Disneyland for 8 years.
Mhm.
I worked at places that are traditionally very open to people who are queer. I worked at Disneyland, I worked for Apple, I
Mhm.
worked for Nordstrom, I worked for Starbucks. Like these are companies that like I spent time at that are like, yeah, if you came out here, cool, we'll pay
Mhm.
for you know.
Yeah.
But I was always trying to be like the dude there.
Mhm.
And it was all because I was so ashamed of what I was, and I didn't want people to not talk to me. I
Mm.
never wanted to be I never wanted to be myself because I thought people liked the other person. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I've come to learn that's a form of neurodivergence, friends.
Oh,
And
Interesting. Oh,
because
okay.
I'm also on that spectrum too.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's abandonment issues. It's a whole litany of things.
Mm-hmm.
Fear of missing out, like all kinds of stuff that just kind of happens, and you end up lying to yourself because you think you're better off for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that that came to a head around college because when I went back to college for the second time, I met a lot of young, really amazing queer folk
Mm-hmm.
who
Mm-hmm.
were not ashamed to be who they were. And I learned from the younger generation, they're like, oh, no one's giving you a hard time for being you, and you're happy about it. And then I met some people who one of them, I call her my sister. She's not my sister, but like by
But
birth,
she's
but
your
like
sister. Yeah,
she's my
soul
Yeah, I get
sister.
sister.
it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
her birthday today, so shout out to Pam, my sister.
Happy
And
birthday, Pam.
like it's funny because I was starting to come out to people like very sporadically, and I came out to another person who then outed me to her.
Oh
Oh,
You should
gosh.
never
wow.
ever do it.
No, no.
And so immediately she's like, "Oh no, no, honey, come on, Mama Bear's got you." And I would come to her, go to her house, and like I would hang out at her house, and I stopped hanging out with the other friend who ended up being very toxic, but I hung out a lot with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then her house was full of amazing gender diverse people. She
Mm-hmm.
herself is cisgender, but a lot of trans people lived at the house and would come there. It was like a virtual home, and I got to meet and talk to people who were out trans people living their lives, doing amazing things, being very happy, and realizing that the stuff you hear in the media about trans people is not true.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of it. Some of it is, but most of it isn't. And
Right.
like you don't know that until you get to meet people, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
so that was part
Because
two.
you were
That was
making assumptions because you hadn't been around
exactly
it.
it's
Yeah.
the same thing. You make assumptions because if you don't have the
Information.
information,
Yeah.
people make stuff up. And I was guilty of that. Still guilty of it, but I was very guilty of that. And like in having deep conversations, I was like, yeah, this is exactly where I need to be. And then, but I wasn't quite ready to make that move yet.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, no, this is still isn't right. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Like the egg is cracking, but it's not quite cracking. Um, Permission to get dark. I'm sorry, I will, but this is something that has to be said because it's an important part of my life. And if you need to cut it, you need to cut it.
Well, trigger warning. It's
Yeah,
Yeah,
dark
trigger
spot.
warning. Yeah.
trigger warning, it's
Yeah.
the dark place. I'll make a happy sound when it's done. I got to a point where it was about 2017 or 2018, and the depression hit the hardest it ever was.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit the crossroads. And the
Oh
crossroads
no.
is you either make the moves that you know you're gonna make anyway and just be happy with your life, or you don't have a life. You end
Mm.
it.
You end
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I got so scared by that, and I tried.
Yeah.
I couldn't go through with it, but I made the preparations. I bought the bottle of pills. Like I
You
was
were
done.
planning it.
You're
Yeah.
yeah.
And I looked at myself and I'm like, this is insane. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not insane. But this thought is, it's not me being insane. This
Not
isn't the right
rational.
choice.
Yeah.
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 And then a little thing called the pandemic hit.
And
But but
everybody was isolated during the
but
pandemic.
but
Yeah.
before that, like I had made the choice to like, no, I'm gonna live my life.
Mm-hmm.
I deserve to be here. I love being alive. I don't
Hmm.
want to not be here. The world needs me.
Mm-hmm.
People
Yeah.
need me.
Yeah.
I
Right.
need my family does.
Hmm.
Everyone. And when it's my time, it's my time, but I'm not gonna take myself out of the game.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I looked at it, I said, well, these are the two paths. This path is now closed. I only have the one path.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right.
it. And then I just started coming up to people. I started messaging people on the side. I told Pam first, like, Pam, this is happening. It's
Mm-hmm.
time. And she's
Hmm.
like, whatever you need, girl, I got you. And I started having conversations on the side with people, like slowly, like, hey, just to let you know, this is going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mhm.
I wanted you to know because I trust you,
Mm-hmm.
and like building a base of like 40, 50, 60 people that I absolutely knew would be rocks for me. These
Right.
were softballs. Like these are the people that like would post trans rights or human rights on their Facebook pages
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
immediately, the ones that are like,
Mhm.
yeah, there's no way on earth this person would secretly reject me. Like no way.
Right.
Um, of the people that I did that, I probably messaged, I would say maybe, like I said, 50, 60, 70 people. One person was like, I can't be part of your life. One out of
Whoa.
70.
Okay.
And I shouldn't be surprised because this person was someone I dated and also was like left me because I didn't have a good enough relationship with God.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So like
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Things weren't
don't even
aligned there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the funniest thing is we were just chatting on like Facebook Messenger and we were talking about like 50s music or something stupid and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, by the way." And then she's like, no. And it's okay. You know what? Live your life.
Yeah.
Sayonara.
Yeah.
She's like, I have no problem with you. I have no problem with who you are, but like I cannot be here and support you going down that path. And I'm like, we're never gonna agree on stuff. So there's the door,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she made her way out of my life, and that's okay. I'm okay with
Mhm.
that. But one out of hundreds, or well, less than 100, but like 70 people, one out of 70 people is pretty good average.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once I had that base of people, and it was the pandemic started, and we were in our houses, like we were
Mhm.
stuck. We were not going. I was playing Animal Crossing. I was,
Oh, yeah, me too.
Animal
I was
Crossing's so good. You're like fishing in the middle of the night, so you
yeah,
can.
I was hoarding toilet paper, like
Yeah,
everybody
I
was,
know.
right? Might as well be drinking I was like, I had hand sanitizer on one side and bourbon in the other. I'm like, don't mix them up. Don't mix them up.
Yeah,
Um,
gross.
so, but it was June 2nd, 2020. That was the day that I posted. That's my trans birthday, which is in less than a month,
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And so, yeah, I have it. I think the post went out on May 31st, but I started taking hormones on June 2nd, actually.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I'm wrong. May 31st was the day I posted. June 2nd was the day I actually started taking hormones. And that was the day I started the process. I met with a therapist online who
Mm-hmm.
ended up
Mhm.
being my therapist in real life, and he let me know, hey, look, you are perfectly normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No one can tell you that you're not normal. What you're doing is not normal. You are totally normal. This is just your journey. This is your path. This is what's right for you. And no one can steal that from you.
Mm-hmm.
You've made a lifetime of this thinking about it. You know, if
Yeah.
this was a phase, you've been in this phase your entire life and you're never coming out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, and so I made the choice to do it, and that's when I posted the Facebook post, and people came over, and it was great. And now that group of 69 people or whatever, minus that one, became a group of 1,000 plus, and they're all like, "Yeah, you're still funny, right?" I'm like, "Of course I'm still funny. Still doing improv.
As long as you're still
Still-
funny.
I'm funnier."
Yeah, you're like, now
You
I could
know?
be like my real funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even know how funny I get. So funny. But yeah, so that was the journey. But it started off just really early, just kind of I missed this part, but like when I was a kid, I was doing a lot of web searching. That's how I learned that Google is terrible
Mm-hmm.
because I learned a lot of stuff when I was younger that was just patently wrong and that I would just get off of not even Google at the time, Yahoo or like Alta Vista, like
Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves, like the web crawler, stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's the era that I'm at, right? But that's the stuff
Mhm.
that I was doing my research back then, which was terrible and wrong and toxic
Mm-hmm.
and some of the worst people in the world. And that's what made me think that I was wrong and I felt that this was like something to be ashamed of, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
They're just toxic. I'm fine. All I'm doing is presenting a gender. Who cares?
Yeah.
I care, but like the world doesn't need to, who cares? So that's really why I circle back to like that. I'll tell people the answers. I don't go Google it. I'll talk to you. Like even if I'm feeling like really like out of it, I might be like, look, I can't talk about this right now, but I'll circle back with you for sure when I've got the quote unquote spoons or the energy to do this.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to go searching their own information on this because I'm most often wrong. And I
Yeah.
want
Because
people to,
and you did it, and it led you down a path that you didn't want to be down. So
right,
yeah.
right. The worst path. The worst path.
Right.
And for every me who says no, I choose this, there's so many other that choose the other path.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
So
is
many examples.
unfortunate. Like the
And
other path's like you're you're isolating yourself. You're either gone, right? And so
Yeah.
now this awesome human,
Mhm.
no
you're
longer
missing no
exists.
longer
Yeah.
exists. The
Yeah.
potential of like changing people's lives is gone. And
Gone.
then or they are
Making a
just
difference or
this person living in shadow and kind of just, living tons of unhappiness, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of
Yeah.
sad.
it's very sad. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's also why a lot of trans me in the media
Mhm.
are
Hmm.
depicted as sad people or having tragic things happen to them because a lot of the times people are online going, "Oh, a trans person lost their life, a trans person took their life. They must be very depressed." And that's because that's what gets reported.
Mhm.
But
Right.
I'm on the other side of that.
Hmm.
Here's my happy face because we're out of the
Yeah.
dark. Um, I a saying that I follow that I love is trans joy is a rebellion,
Mhm.
right? That
Hmm.
is that is a saying that I will sing to the heavens and higher because like it's very true. Like there's no activism better than just being trans and being happy,
Mhm.
and doing cool things,
Right.
traveling the world, meeting cool people, going on stage, performing, all these things that we're not supposed to, quote unquote, supposed to do because we're too sad to do it. Well, if I'm doing it and I'm trans, guess what? You can do it too.
Mhm.
And it's like
Right.
out there, right?
Yeah.
So that's the rebellion. Like that's me saying no. And in spite of everything,
Hmm.
it's really nevertheless she persisted, right? Like
Right. Yeah,
Mhm.
for
really what it
sure.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I wanna mention this. I wish I had this bracelet near me, but one of our other coworkers, and I won't mention her name, but she had a little bit of a health scare right around the same time that I was transitioning. And but she sent me a couple of things. One, she sent me a really cool message saying, "Hey, I love and support you. I'm having some health stuff, and I'm moving to the place I'm moving,
Mhm.
one
Hmm.
of the southern states. I'm trying not to dox this person, but like,
Yeah.
but she sent me a bracelet that I wear every single day. I'm not wearing it because I just took a shower, so it's in my bathroom and I get it. But or is it? Hold on, no, it's here. It's here. Haha. I knew I had it. Perfect timing. But it's this little metal bracelet,
Oh,
and
Hmm.
nice.
on the outside it says nothing. There's nothing inscribed. There's just two little hearts, kind of like there. But the
Mhm.
word on
Hmm.
the inside, which is just for me, says, "You were given this life because you're strong enough to live it."
Oh,
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
it's true.
Someone who we work with at that company, and I hadn't, like, just like you, I hadn't talked to her in years,
Mhm.
and she just said, "Hey, look, I'm so proud of you
Yeah.
for everything, and you were given this life because you are strong enough to live it." And so that's my internal motto for my day to day, every day. I'm here because I'm strong enough to be here, and I'm not
Yeah.
going anywhere because I'm strong.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's a good message for all women,
Mhm.
not
It
just
is.
women.
Right.
Like you were given the life you were given because you were strong enough to be the one that lives it.
Yeah.
I wear a bracelet that says "Don't let the hard days win."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's so easy to, right?
it is.
So easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be honest, one of my life goals is to give a TED Talk. I would love to.
That'd
Well,
be
although
amazing. Yeah.
although the TED Corporation now has kind of been a little bit
They're a little
soured.
bit finicky. Like,
Oh
yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they're not.
problematic.
But like giving a large speech to a large group of people, like I'll do a commencement speech one day. I think that'd be so awesome.
That would be
That'd be
awesome.
great. Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah. So like I said, I told you, you get a microphone and tie him all the
Okay, I do have a question. Like,
yeah.
did you ask, well, when you told your family members, who was the first family member that you told?
This is the hardest question.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh.
because I struggle with it. I
Yeah.
struggle
Mm.
with it a lot. Um, the reason why I have the name Holly Scott, by the way, is not because I'm ashamed of my family. One is for protection, so
Right.
people
Mhm.
don't go find me. But two is like I was going to change my name to that in case my family didn't accept me. I
Oh,
had to
Okay.
leave.
you were
Uh,
making that preparation.
yeah, because
Yeah.
there's a real choice. You don't really know. Like you
Yeah.
don't really know
Mhm.
what's going to happen. I didn't tell anyone in my family. My family were the last really to know before the big post. and I told my mom on May 16th of 2020.
Oh
And May
wow.
7th and May
Uh-huh.
17th we went into lockdown. So
Yeah.
she had to sit with it
Uh-huh.
for all of 2020, which sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do it to her, but I didn't know. But we were at my grandparents' house at my grandparents' kitchen table, and I was like, "Mom, I need you to know this because I don't know what's going on with the world, but this is this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
I am
Yeah.
who I am,
Hmm.
what I'm doing." And and then she's like, "You need to go tell your dad like tonight." And I said, "Okay." And so I drove to my parents' home and I told my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I gave him a big hug. And both of them were like, "Look, we're gonna have a hard time with this because they're the thing that we get a lot from parents who are like parents of trans people is that, oh, I feel like I have to bury you or I'm grieving for you. And I really don't love that
Mm-hmm.
I've
for
heard
me
that, yeah. They're grieving the loss of the person they knew.
because they're not losing anyone. They're
Right. You're the
Yeah.
same.
gaining.
Yeah.
You're the same. You're
Yeah.
You're
you.
you're better than the same.
That's true. Yeah.
And like they saw me as blank as I was for so long. I was just not interested in participating in the world, and they saw that. They
Mm-hmm.
saw the
Hmm.
worst of it, right?
Yeah. I mean, your mom would talk to you about it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And so like it was really the choice of which would you rather have? Would you rather have me alive and happy, or would you rather have a dead son? Because that's
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but that sorry, back to the dark time.
Yeah.
Back to happy. But that was the choice, and I think she did a lot of work to go to therapy, first online and then in real life,
Mm-hmm.
to
Hmm.
talk to people. I mean, she's really trying. She has. I haven't heard my old name in years because they did such a good job of not dead naming me and making sure that I knew that like that I was who I said I was and that I was
Hmm.
truly happy.
Mm-hmm.
They were really sad for a long time because they thought I was giving up my name. And then when I submitted my name change documents, they're like, "This still says your last name." And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Well, yeah, I didn't change my last name." And they're like, "Oh, we thought you did." I'm like, "No, just my first, and my middle name.
Yeah.
I would never
Hmm.
change my last name. You were here for me, so why would I change my last name?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, spoiler alert, Scott is not my last name. It's just what I tell people to say online. It's what's on
Yeah.
my IMDb if you want to look at my IMDb profile.
Okay.
But it's actually not my legal name.
Your government name.
My government name. Um, but yeah, so that and then I of course I told my grandparents, I told my brother, my poor brother, like I was set to be his best man at his wedding,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought they were gonna cancel the wedding because it was 2020, but nope, we had it.
Nice.
So
Oh.
I flew my baby trans butt to Defiance, Ohio to have a wedding
Oh my gosh.
in the pandemic, which actually worked out really well because it wasn't as like
There wasn't as many people around and
it was less.
stuff.
I mean, it was a much smaller.
Yeah.
I feel bad for them because obviously they wanted a big wedding, and I love my sister-in-law. Like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
brother's wife is amazing and perfect for him, and he's great too. But like he was really suffering that for a while. It's like, can you wait? And I'm like, there's nothing to
Can
wait.
you wait? That is
He's like,
Oh.
well, because he didn't know. Like I don't
yeah.
fault him for
Yeah.
that. But he was like, hey, can you come out after my wedding and just be my best man? I'm like, I'm gonna be your best person.
Uh-huh.
I'll be there for you. Like I'll be standing right by your side like you want me to. But like as far as the man part, I can't do that for you. Like I'm sorry. I
You
will. And it
You
was
be a
fun.
woman.
Well,
you
that's
could
what I ended up
still be
Yeah.
the
doing.
best
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. The best
Well,
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, yeah, but
It was
he's
hard because he wasn't
He's probably
expecting it.
picturing
And
something, like
yeah.
sure,
every bridegroom has a picture of their wedding to be
sure.
something. Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
already ruined because half his room's party, including his best friend, couldn't go because
Oh,
they were either sick or they were too afraid to fly.
yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so like the airports then were crazy. It's such a weird time. It was such a weird time in this world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
You know. But it was nice. The nice thing about it was the fact that I had a lot of time to just be a woman by myself.
Hmm.
Like I didn't
Hmm.
have to like immediately present. Like I could be the sweatpants girl. Like I could
Hmm.
be the I'm eating ice cream on my couch girl. Like, like that was fine because we were all doing that because we couldn't go anywhere. Like we were having our food delivered and we were wiping groceries with like
With
disinfectant.
Lysol
Lysol, yeah.
wipes. I know.
Like so nobody cared. I didn't have to learn makeup right away. I didn't have to go buy a wardrobe right away. Like I could just fail privately so that I
Yeah.
could
Hmm.
succeed publicly, as best I can.
Right.
And it takes time even beyond that, but like, I got to really exist with my new feelings because I was allowed to feel things I didn't feel before I started taking hormones,
Yeah.
which really it does change so much. Like not just physically, but like mentally, emotionally, like it's a whole different ball game that
Yeah.
we're not used to unless you transition young. Like
Yeah.
for y'all, like you've been dealing with this for your entire life. You're like, oh yeah, it's normal. But like for me, it's like I had to learn what normal was. What's my baseline? What do I feel like today? That was part of the transition journey. It was like exploring who I was and what I felt like and learning what the words were that I didn't know before.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with spaces that I've never been to. Like I remember the last time I went to a men's room. It
Yeah.
was at the
Yeah.
Indianapolis airport when I was flying home from Ohio because I didn't want to go into an airport in a state that was a red state
Yeah.
and go to
Yeah.
the Now,
Right.
since then, like I'd been to several southern states and walk around the women's room. No one cares.
Yeah.
No one gives a
Yeah.
shit. Nobody really cares.
No.
That's the thing is like you see all this stuff on the media of like, oh well, the bathroom is such a big deal, but like that's just because it's the media blowing apart. But like honestly, like no one's ever said a word to me go to the bathroom. No one's ever given me a weird eye. It's just you do it. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. It does happen,
Yeah.
but it hasn't happened to me, which doesn't mean it doesn't happen, and then I'm saying it doesn't happen, but it does. But I'm just saying that like it's not a big a deal as the media makes it out to be because they're trying to sell a story. And so if you are, I guess the message is if you're a trans girl and you're listening to this and you're like, I really want to go to the bathroom, just honey, go.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
someone says something to you, ignore them. You don't have to give them any of your time and space. You really don't. Just go in and go pee and go wash your hands, nod if they talk to you, and then peace out. And you'll never see them again.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Like that's part of the journey. But like anyway, I was saying, sorry, I completely lost my thought.
It's okay.
It's okay.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, like I remember those moments as they happen,
Yeah.
uh, because they're still fresh to me. It's only been 6 years since that,
Yeah.
you
You're
know.
still, I would think you're like a teenager in a sense, like a teenager in an adult body, or like a child in an adult body, right? Like
Oh
you
yeah,
mentioned about like the walk, how ladies walk.
I'm still bad at it. I'm so bad at
So
it.
what is it? Okay, no, tell me because
It's okay. I don't walk that way.
no, because
That's
I'm
it.
like
yeah.
duck
What is the
foot,
walk?
so
Because
yeah.
I know like anatomy wise, yes, there is a certain walk. My
Yeah,
mom has always told me I walk like a man because it's not like, and I'm just
Same. I
like
do.
whatever.
Yeah.
But that's my mom being critical.
I have terrible posture. I don't walk really well, but I also work from home and I barely see people, so who cares? Um, but like the walk that the feminine sway or whatever. That's
Yeah.
like first of all, I don't wear heels. I'm already 6 foot. I don't want to be taller. I want to be shorter. If anything, if there's negative heels, I'd wear them. But there's like so like that walk comes from wearing heels really, and then
Yeah,
putting one foot in front of the other and trying to really
Yeah.
flow with it. And like I'm not that.
yeah.
My joke is I spent a lot of money to be a feminine tomboy. To be
That's
a to be a, to be a lesbian tomboy, especially.
that's
That's
So like because there's some things that like I'm in my 40s.
hmm
Like at this point, I'm not going to clubs. I'm
yeah.
not going to Vegas.
it. Yeah.
You're lucky if I'm going to dinner.
Right. You're like,
Like,
I want to be on my couch. I'm exhausted.
Like I
so
want to be
much
off my
Netflix.
feet. Yeah.
And the reality of it is like I don't like if I had the body to go to those places, I might, but I don't. And I'm not going to try to force myself into being an image of something that I'm not. I know where I am.
hmm
And so like taking the time to like perfect the walk just didn't happen for me. It didn't manifest.
mm
That's me, again, one trans person story. There's lots of trans folks that definitely do spend time with mannerisms and talking and how they walk and how they act and perfecting the look. And I love them.
hmm
I love them for that. And I love that they're doing it. I'm just not that. And I won't be that because it's too much of a struggle for me at this point to learn that.
hmm
But
Yeah.
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at makeup when I wear it. I'm not too bad. I'm terrible at hair. Oh my God, hair is the worst.
Oh, you're speaking our language,
Yeah.
though. I know, like, I literally finally just chopped my hair because I was only wearing it in a ponytail,
Yeah.
and I had to like learn how to blow dry it out, and I I used to just air dry my hair. So, and I do my makeup crazy because I love Dolly Parton, and if Dolly can rock
Love
some crazy
that.
makeup, then I can rock some crazy makeup. And if I look like Mimi from Drew Carey's show, then I look like Mimi from Drew Carey's show.
I
I
love it.
literally was wearing like mint and like a split pea green with like a little splash of yellow in there yesterday, and I looked at myself and I was like, yeah, I look good. And then I got in the office and in the bathroom, I was like, I don't look that good.
Oh,
But I was just like, well, this is what I have.
you were
So,
feeling yourself. That's great. We love
I
that. Love that for
know.
you. I do. It's fun. I do Ren Fair,
Hmm.
right? And
Ren
so like
Fair's
that's my
fun.
but and I have, I'm playing a character that's like from the 1570s, and like so like I can't do like crazy makeup, but like I'm always like my friends are like, "Can we braid your hair?" I'm like, "Yeah." So every weekend they braid my hair. Like every
Fun.
weekend.
I love when people do my hair. Like,
Love it.
I love it because
Oh
I
yeah.
hate doing my hair. Like, I'm in the same boat as you. Like, and I think a lot of feminine identifying women, whatever, probably do identify with the hair thing a lot because hair
It's part of the experience.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also,
Yeah.
like, the pressure
Yeah.
to have a fuller look versus a thinning look. You know what I mean? The vanity takes another level, right? And so it's
All
Yeah.
just
the
kind of
beauty
like,
standards suck.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
I mean, the nice thing is when you get to your 40s, people stop caring about what you
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, you
So
just
like
don't.
good.
Yeah.
But that's exactly the main point of it that I'm seeing is that every time I talk to someone, a woman who's my age,
Hmm.
it's always the same. Like I don't want to do that. I don't feel like I want to do that today.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm not going to do it. No one's
Yeah.
going to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh well, we're not that different. Like
Right.
we're really
Yeah.
not.
Right.
And that's really nice. And then when that does happen, and you do get all dolled up, and you feel great, then like it really affects you. You're like, oh, this is really great. But I'm not doing it for, anyone's gaze or anything.
Yeah. You're
Right.
doing it for
I'm just
yourself. Like,
I'm doing it for myself to
yeah.
feel good. But like, oh, I didn't know I could do this, and now I can, and I feel great about it.
Do
I think
And if
that's a
someone,
great part of the 40s too, is just doing it for yourself. It's like kind of some people say it's going back to the teenage self that you wish you would have been,
hmm
yeah.
because you don't you're doing it what you want to do.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of that too. Like when you first come out as
I'm
trans,
sure.
like the term second puberty, right? You probably heard of
Right.
that. Like that's a
Yeah.
real thing, both physically and also, socially, again,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you really do rush to try to do all those things. Like one thing I'm really sad about is I never got to be a girl. Like I never got a girlhood. Like I
Hmm.
never got to
Yeah.
grow up and have those moments because
Hmm.
like I didn't have a prom dress, and I didn't, I wasn't, a cheerleader or anything of those things that are like things I would have done probably.
My my
Honestly, honestly,
friend's my
yeah.
friend's trans daughter got to wear a prom dress this last week.
And that's
Yeah.
so important. That's why we
Yeah.
need to protect trans youth and listen to them and really treat them because I know what it's like to not get to have those moments,
Hmm.
and I
Yeah.
don't want them to lose out on that if they can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
You have to come to terms with that like you didn't have that, and
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Do
But like,
you
and we
feel like
don't.
you should have transitioned earlier then, like in your 20s?
I mean, that's a question that I wish I could have answered because I would have skipped a lot of trouble, but I wouldn't have the same people in my life that I have now.
Yeah, but
So
you would probably look good. You know what I mean? Like that vanity of like hot dresses, high
You'd be one
heels.
hot
Yeah, one
I
hot
foxy
mean,
lady
lady.
walking down the street. You know what I
I
mean?
think I look good now.
You do.
So
Yeah.
how
So
dare
Yeah.
she's like, I'm
you?
hot all the time. Thank you.
No, I mean there was a lot of that. I mean there was a
Yeah.
lot of like, oh, I wish I could have been a 21-year-old,
Yeah,
you
this
know.
hot thing.
Yeah.
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 I mean, even if I wasn't necessarily like the hottest thing in the world, at least I could have like experienced the world with some modicum of youth.
Hmm.
And gone to clubs if you wanted to and stuff like
I
that. And
I don't like clubs.
you're like, I
Okay,
don't
good.
care about
I'm so
clubs.
glad. I'm all like,
I like going dancing, but I don't go dancing to meet people. I
I
go
don't.
dance to just dance.
I wouldn't want to be part of the meat locker that's out there. Like that's not
Oh,
interesting to me. But like I would have, there would have been a lot of things that didn't happen because I wouldn't have taken on interests that I do enjoy that I would like. I don't know if I would have been that big into sports. Honestly, like I liked going to sports and doing the sports stuff, but I hated playing it. Like I was terrible at playing sports, like I don't think I would have been nearly as into video games as I am now, like because those are things you did with your boys, and like I was one of the boys, so quote unquote,
Right.
Um and yeah, I found out that I do enjoy it, I love competitive things. I'm very competitive, but like if I would have transitioned in my 20s, I would have met a lot more younger women and we would have done younger things and I would probably be I don't know. Who knows where I'd be?
Right.
Yeah.
You can't. It's hard to play that what if game in the past, and it's like it's something I don't necessarily do a ton of because like it just most of the time
Messes
just
with
makes
your
me feel
head.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of trying to like regret the hand I didn't get, I'm trying my best to play the hand that I was dealt,
Yeah.
Right.
and that's how I'm trying to go about it
I
because
think that's a
otherwise
good mindset. Yeah.
you have to. You
Yeah.
really have to. Like I am now and I am here and I have what I have and I know what I know and I can do what I can do and the rest is out of my hands.
Yeah.
Like and that's where I'm living right now and like I'm learning new skills all the time. I'm moving to a place that has way more people and has way more life and activity, because of
When we get off of here, I have to tell you because my sister-in-laws, they host a queer line dancing. Uh and so I can give you the
Oh.
info where you're
We can
moving
all go
to.
together.
We can all
Go
go.
to
They're
yeah.
amazing.
I'd go to that. I mean, I used to, so when I was a kid, I was a square dancer.
Oh,
My
I like
parents,
square dancing
yeah,
too.
my parents thought it was a good idea to take me to the community center near my house, and we would go like the neighbor girl, and we'd go like square dancing, and I was like, bow to your partner, bow to your partner, and you'll
You
see
know
no,
that
not
there's
more.
adults that still do that.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure, I'm sure, and
Yeah.
you know what? I didn't
Yeah.
hate it as much as I thought,
Yeah.
but I definitely didn't like it.
You're like, it wasn't my jam.
Well, and the reality of it was, I didn't get to wear the pretty dresses. Like I would have
Right.
loved
You
to wear.
wanted the big like petticcoat kind of
Yeah, the
like
poof.
yeah.
You want the
Yes.
poof. The
Yes.
poof makes
Yes.
it.
The poof does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so funny. So I got into cosplay. I'm a
hmm
cosplayer now. Not like a professional or anything, but like just for fun. Like I'll go to conventions and do cosplays. And like I've had a couple of ones that have like more of the poof out. I'm like, oh yeah, this is nice.
You're like, I'm
Oh,
feeling it.
cool. And people don't come near me because I bought out of my way with my skirts. Get out of my way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would do line dancing for sure.
All right. I'll get you the
Yeah.
info.
We'll all go
Okay.
together.
I'm not that cool. I just wear like a big skirt and I feel fancy.
I
But
mean, and
that
that's great. Honestly, if you go to Ren Fair and that's your vibe, do it. Oh, we love that.
Yeah.
But like we as like
yeah,
employees,
that's your fun. Yeah, yeah.
we're trying to do a thing. I'm on the well. I wash on the well, so my guild is the washers.
Oh, okay.
We do the town's laundry and the town.
hmm
So that's my guild. So we dress up like we're doing laundry and then we splash around in a pool all day, like that's what we do essentially.
Do
That's a lot
you
of
do
fun.
you live on the like do you stay there at the fairgrounds or
On
the
weekends I do. Yeah,
yeah?
I have a tent in the back that I call the groovy room because it's big and it has a lot of like cool lights in it that I light up like relax. But yeah, I camp Friday nights through Saturday. We leave Sundays, so I'm there for 2 nights every week.
Oh wow. Do
Um,
you speak with an accent when you're there at the Ren Fair?
it's not an accent. It's more um like they discourage us from using British accents because we don't want to offend anybody. But what we
Okay.
do is we use the language close to what we can have as the time with still being understandable.
Old
Because
English, yeah.
yeah, because if you were to go to England in 1500s and talk to someone, you would have no idea what they're saying
Yeah.
because the
No.
language was different, right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot we do like that are my mother who did clean me house. My house was like that. Oh, you think I wash? Oh, I'll wash you. Yay. That kind of stuff. That's like the language that we use
Yeah.
which is not, it's still in my modern accent, but it's with that language. So it still builds the idea of like we're in old England, but we are not gonna, I'm not pretending to be British. Like we're not doing that.
Okay.
Because then we're gonna get someone from England going, that's crap. Why are you talking like that?
Yeah,
Like,
you're
You
offending
sound more
me.
Australian
Yeah,
than
exactly.
exactly. Not all Cockney. Like So yeah, we do. It's and then we have people that are on the court. Like we have a Queen's Court, like the
Hmm.
Queen of England, and they do tend to speak with a little bit higher of an inflection, as if they're more royal. But we're the peasants, right? We're the gentry,
Yeah.
so we're talking lowborn, and that's great.
Hmm.
You know what I was speaking the other day with the Lord Mayor, and the two of us, we were having a time, and I tell thee true, I will ne'er do this, for I swear upon God's wounds that things are not the way they are in Port Deptford, mind thee. And that's the language, and we're talking back and forth, and we're talking about that, and we all understand each other perfectly because we just know it, you
Hmm.
know.
Right.
But it's the show, it's part of the show, and it's so much fun to be a peasant girl, you know, like but we do have like men in our guild who are the plowboys,
Hmm.
but I wouldn't have had a fun time doing that.
Hmm.
I am my guild's the first person to ever be an out trans woman in my guild. That was like we have other trans women in our guild's history, but they weren't trans when they were on the well.
Okay.
And
Uh-huh.
we have two other people who are non-binary who on my well as well. So the three of us are we all play siblings.
Hmm.
We're the same family, right? And so that's a big joy for me is that I was allowed to be myself in my guild, and I was the first one to do it so far, and hopefully there's more, you know, and hopefully that people are brave enough to do it, and I support them because it's a lot of fun, you know, just being again trans joy is a rebellion. So whatever joy I can make of it and do whatever I want to do, I'm going to do it. No one's going to tell me I'm not going to do it unless it's illegal to do, and even then I might can still do it, but like until that day I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to go out there scared.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
good.
I'm just not because that's what they want. They want us to be afraid. Not gonna happen.
Right. And they want you to hide and live your
Yeah.
life.
They
So,
want us to be all in the shadows and never talk to anyone and be like, well, you can be trans, just be trans in your house and just be online.
I
No.
think that's sad. Like,
that is
yeah.
sad.
Because I wouldn't have thought of like, oh, masking yourself as a man, because that's very.
Well, it
It's
was what I was told to do, right?
yeah,
That's all you knew at the time, right?
exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
People are like, well, when you're born, whatever you have between your legs is what you are, and you're gonna love the opposite of that, and that's gonna be your whole life. And that's what's quote unquote normal. But
yeah,
like how many people get divorced in a year? How many people are so unhappy? How many people do other things that are like terrible because
yeah,
they're just not they're told to do what they should do as opposed to what they want to do.
yeah,
It makes them happy. Now, I will caveat that say if the thing that makes you happy is dangerous to anyone who can't consent, or if the thing that makes you happy is dangerous to people in a way that like could harm them or take away their rights,
yeah,
that I'm not okay with.
no, yeah, that's not, yeah,
yeah.
But
That's
like but a trans person being trans has no me being a woman has no effect on anyone else outside of me personally because
right.
like because it doesn't change it. I'm not affecting you. I'm not saying, well, I'm gonna walk around and everyone I touch is also gonna be trans. You and
yeah,
you and you. It's not a
And you're
disease. It
not going to
doesn't
get a toaster
yeah,
yeah.
you're
exactly.
really not. There's no recruitment. My so funny you say that because my best friend used to joke about that because he, you know, when early on he came out to me and I turned him down because I wasn't interested in being in a relationship with a man. And and later on, like when I moved to New York, I moved in with him, and he's like, "Well, if you do end up coming out as gay, there's a recruitment drive, and I could get a toaster, right?"
Yeah.
Right?
My
So
sister-in-laws say that. They're like, it's a rainbow toaster. And I'm like, oh, fancy.
so guess what I did is when I came out to him,
Mhm.
I said, "Oh, by the way, check your mailbox," and I Amazon bought him a toaster. I don't know if he
Amazing.
liked that too much, but I definitely did it. It was fun.
That's fun.
But yeah, so like it's but the point of it is like me living my life doesn't change. All it changes is your ability, not you, but like the royal
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
ability to control other people who want to be happy as well, because it's really what it's about.
yeah,
All these posturing about trans people and about, you know, in the news and how we're the enemy. It's because we're doing something to make ourselves happy that lessens your control over people and you need control to live.
Well, they're also they want to control women anyways too. So,
Right. Right.
yeah.
yeah.
My next question is about the female perspective, which is the control
Right.
part and
Mhm.
safety, because
Yeah.
women walk a certain way in dark alleys.
I wanted to jump onto one thing first
Sure.
while we're talking about this. When my friends kiddo came out as trans, and
Mhm.
I've known them since they were born, and a teenager. And I told my son, who at the time was like 12 or something, and I just sat down and said, "Hey, this is what's happening," and my son said that must have been really hard for them. That was the first thing he said. He didn't
Yeah.
say like, "Oh no," or anything like that. He said that must have been really hard for them, and so
Yeah.
people can understand and accept everybody. It's the media is makes it seem like they can't, but they can.
And if a trans person comes to you and comes out to you, that means they've deemed you safe.
Yeah.
Yes,
They've
yeah.
deemed you safe enough that
It's
they
an
can know.
honor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
really is an honor. And like I
yeah.
think more people would treat it like that. Like, and there's some people like that say you shouldn't have to come out. And that's true. Like you should just be able to like, I'm this now. But like
Right,
it
right.
doesn't really
Like
feel
if someone's straight, they don't announce that they're straight. So
right. Because
yeah,
it's assumed, right? And that's the
yeah,
worst part about it is like the heteronormativity and this of it all. And like, but that's society's deemed that. Like that's
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
not to get in a societal rant, but I could. I could for hours. We don't have that long of a podcast.
Okay.
No.
Um,
So
Jennifer's been asking, JT has been asking a question for so
I know.
long.
It's like we keep going on side journeys, side quests. Sorry.
Welcome to my
okay.
life.
So when you transitioned into being
Yes,
female, I'm gonna tell you as a female, and Jen probably has experienced this, like going to dark alleys, feeling not safe. You would hold your keys a certain way. You know what I mean? Like make sure your
You're
car
always on
doesn't.
alert.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
always on alert. Like
Yeah.
checking under your car. These stories that all women or female identifying have to do. Did you feel that
yeah.
when? Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, don't feel that. Like there is an amount of privilege that you give up when you give up presenting masculine.
Yeah.
That's just that comes with the territory. That is part of it.
Yeah.
It's terrible that we have to think like that and we have to even assume that around the corner there could be someone that wants to harm us. Now, I will say this. I'm a little bit taller and a little bit bigger, so I don't get it as much, but I still look and I'm still worried about it and
Yeah.
I'm still scared.
Yeah.
But I've come to the aid of other people who have been in positions where they've been harassed. And I will step in and nobody wants to fuck with a 6 foot tall girl who's only
Yeah. No, they don't. Yeah.
like I'm an imposing figure for a girl.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
if I see someone harassing someone who's smaller than me, I'm gonna walk up and go, hey, there's a problem. You want a
Yeah.
problem? You want a problem with someone your size? Because I'll knock you out. And I will. I'm not honest. They don't know I'm that strong anymore. They don't have to know. They don't need to know. But it's a matter of like, but yeah, even so, even when I'm by myself in like areas, that I'm not 100% sure of, yeah, I'll watch my
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
You have to. But I'm also looking out for people who want to do other things to me, like make me a victim or make me a
Yeah.
hate crime,
That.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's almost double,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
feel like there's more. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I get what you get, plus
mhm,
I get that.
Yeah.
And I'm more
right.
worried, honestly, I'm more worried about that for me.
Especially the way climate of the
Yeah,
Of
world
our.
right
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mom, I told her I was moving, and she's like, "Is your neighborhood safe?" And I knew what she meant.
Yeah.
Hmm.
She didn't mean is it a bad neighborhood. She meant is it a safe for trans people to
Is
be?
it a safe space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I had to
Yeah.
tell her, like, you know, yes, but any place can be that. And it's why a lot of trans people don't leave their house or don't come out at all
Mm-hmm.
because they're afraid
Yeah.
of it. And that's
Yeah.
why I made it an extra point to be more public and more visible because I need people to see that like you can survive and have a good life and be happy and have that rebellion of trans joy
Mm-hmm.
because I'm planning on taking a trip to Japan in December and I'm going by myself. I'm not going with anybody. I'm hopping a flight and I'm going and I'm staying in a hotel by myself in a whole other country. And the last time I was there, I never felt worried at all walking around
Oh yeah.
as a
Japan's
woman.
super safe.
Well, that's the thing that could be here, but we don't. We let it happen.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's the whole boys will be boys mentality, but also it's the whole like, oh, look who succeeds. Oh, well, if they're succeeding because they're being terrible, then I'm gonna be terrible too, so I can succeed as well. It's we're fostering that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one is, and the people that want to change it are too afraid to be vocal about it. Well, I'm not. I'm not. I will talk about it because, but also I'll keep the level of safety I have. I won't tell anybody on podcast my last name or
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to do things to protect yourself.
You
Yeah.
you have
Yeah,
to take care of it. Yeah,
yeah.
you can't.
There's a difference between visibility and being too bold.
Hmm.
Like and being silly. Like
Right, or just like not being safe for yourself,
yeah.
Hmm.
But I'm not gonna let the fear that I have, and I do have fear, stop me
Hmm.
from enjoying the life that I have because I fought too hard to have this life.
Yeah.
I almost
That,
did it.
hmm.
So like, yeah, I'm gonna go. And if someone decides that it's their job to take me out of this world and they do it, that's not on me to learn. That's them.
Hmm.
And no, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah,
And
I
I
hope it
never
doesn't
wish that on
happen. I'm
anybody.
just like,
Well, yeah, but
yeah,
also like I'm not gonna stop doing what I want to do because of the fear of that.
yeah.
Because then
Yeah.
they win, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's scary out there, man. It really is.
So
Yeah.
you mentioned about, okay, your sexuality, like
Ah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
say you're a lesbian and you're
I,
pansexual.
so technically,
And,
so I've never dated a man.
Hmm.
okay.
I'm a I identify as there's so many different ways I can identify, honestly.
Hmm.
Like I date women. I only date women, so that I mean I'm on the lesbian spectrum, but I also
Hmm.
find some men attractive,
Hmm.
like so like and also I'm not closing myself off to the opportunity of having a relationship with someone who is a man or is non-binary or another trans person. Like those are all
Hmm.
options for me
Hmm.
because the body doesn't matter for me. It's
Yeah.
really the heart and the experience. I just don't find really attraction to men most often because,
You don't connect with them.
I don't connect with them or there's something that's just missing. But
Hmm.
but like I'll look at guys and go, that guy's hot,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
and like there's some real cutie pies that are out there like, what, we're really fun to date.
Yeah.
And I would definitely make that connection. And so I will never just say I'm a straight up lesbian. I don't ever date men because it's not true,
Hmm.
you know. And I say pansexual or bisexual, but honestly, I like the bi flag better. So sometimes I'll just say I'm bi, but like,
What
So,
is
but,
what is the colors of the bi flag versus the pan flag?
so the bi flag is pink, purple, and blue-ish,
Okay. Uh-huh.
whereas the pan flag is kind of the colors of my dress. It's yellow, pink, and blue, like that.
Okay.
okay.
And they kind of I don't know why I'm wearing that dress right now. I just have, but they kind of clash a little bit for
Hmm.
my taste. But you know what? Hey, if you love it, you love it. But my flag is that one.
Yeah,
That's
the
my
the
flag.
trans flag. Hmm.
I mean, and honestly, like whatever flag you want, it's all fluid and it's all a spectrum. And like your feelings can change from day to day. It's not like you have to declare like this is what I am
Hmm.
and this is all I'll ever be. Like that's not how it works.
Right.
If I meet a cisgendered straight man who loves me for who I am and wants to take me out and go on dates and we have a good time, we hit it off and we get married, then I've done that.
Hmm.
But it doesn't make me straight. It just
Right.
means I'm in a relationship with a man.
Right. Yeah.
It's part of like the whole there's like bi pan erasure where like people are like, well, you identify as pan, but you date heterosexually, so therefore you must not be that. And like, no, it's not how it works. You get to be whatever you are. It's kind of the whole thing with being trans. Like
Like I
I'm
am what I
trans.
am.
I'm
Yeah.
trans because I feel more comfortable being a woman, and so therefore I am,
Hmm.
regardless of what's between my legs.
Yeah.
And some of us don't ever change that, and there's a surgical aspect to it that we haven't even talked about, and we don't have to, we can, we
Mhm.
want to, but I'm not opposed to it. But some trans people never do surgeries,
Right. They never
never
do.
take hormones.
Hmm.
They're just as valid as I am,
Mm.
Yeah.
just as valid. Like because it's not about your body, it's about your heart and your soul and how you feel, and that ties with sexuality too. Like your body parts don't match, that's fine. That's fine. Your body parts do match. That's fine. Like whatever is going to make you happy at the end of the day, as long as it's not hurting someone, like, then great, you know?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if you're doing stuff that is non-consensual, then you are the worst person in the world, and we don't love that. But like,
No.
but if if you are two consenting adults doing consenting things with people, regardless of, what society has said is okay or not,
Hmm.
great. Live your life. Be
So,
Yeah.
happy.
can
Love it,
you tell the
know?
besties? Because I'm now really confused, like the different
Oh no,
sexualities of
I didn't mean to confuse you.
pansexual, like, because
Yeah,
She's just figuring it out
yeah,
right now,
like
you know.
I
no,
know the
totally.
term, but I don't
Yeah.
know the term, or like,
Like you've
So
heard of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
so heterosexual means, you are a one gender that dates another, a
okay,
different gender, right? But and there's spectrum, like, and homosexual means you date the same gender, but that's assuming that there's only two, which is not true. There are so many genders, as we've learned. There are thousands and millions of genders,
mm-hmm,
and they're all valid. So pansexual is really more as like pan meaning all,
mm-hmm,
like
Hmm.
panoply or panopticon or whatever. Pan means is the Greek word for all of it, everything, all at
okay,
once, the whole deal, you
Okay.
know. So like you were in love for being in love, and bodies, hearts not parts is really what the term boils down to.
okay.
It's a more inclusive term.
That's a good
Now,
way to remember it.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
bisexual is just another way of saying pan, but like it's originally it was kind of co-opted by the we call them turfs, to be like, you can be queer but you don't like trans people, and like most bisexual people are like, no, that's not true, like I would love to date a trans person, like regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not, so like the line between pan and bi is so gossamer thin. It's like really really hard to like kind of get in the nitty gritty, and I'm not going to be able to do it on a podcast, to be honest with you, because I
Okay.
No.
don't even fully know, right?
Well, and it's also whatever you feel is your truth, right? So like you said you could say queer, and like my sister-in-law says queer and identifies as that. So, but that's what you want. Like if
Yeah,
you feel pan, you're pan. If you feel bi, you're bi. Like that's your decision and your heart, you know?
yeah. If you're non-binary, you're non-binary.
What
If
is
you're
Right.
non-binary?
non-binary means you either don't ascribe to a gender at all, or you
Or
ascribe to multiple genders.
gender fluid or
Then
Yeah. So
wouldn't
there
that
there's
be pansexual?
no
no, that's gender is
bisexuality.
separate.
So yeah, so this is
Okay.
what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
So the confusion is because of the whole LGBTQIA
Yeah.
plus
Right.
spectrum.
Hmm.
And really we're put together because we're all marginalized groups. We're all, in that same kind of different, away from society, like norms kind of
Yeah.
thing. But sexuality and gender are two different things. They're
Mm-hmm.
very separate in the world. So like you can be a trans person who is also a lesbian. You could be a cisgender person who is also bi. And non-binary means essentially like, so the binary for gender is male and female.
Right.
That's what
Hmm.
people have assumed the binary to be. And so non-binary people are saying, well, I don't feel male, I don't feel female. I'm somewhere in between.
Hmm.
So they're like, well, I'm not part of that binary one and two system. I am
Hmm.
in the middle, or I am beyond it. Because there are some people, like, they're like, I do not like the concept of gender, so I'm not gonna do it.
Hmm.
And that's fine. That's agender or non-gender, and that's fine. Again,
Okay.
all valid. But that's what I mean. It's like, if you are not male or female, if you just don't believe in a binary, which a lot of people don't, which I
Yeah.
don't,
Mm-hmm.
then you can fall into the non-binary category if you want to, and you don't have to call yourself non-binary. You can assign whatever title you want to it, but that's essentially what that means. I myself fall on the binary side because I am 0% male.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I do not, I am a female woman girl.
Yeah.
Like all of those things.
Hmm.
So those things all apply to me. I use she, her pronouns.
Hmm.
I do things, you know, I think are traditionally feminine, and that's also very valid,
Yeah.
while still showing love for my folks who don't ascribe to that. And that's how that works. But who you love and who you are, different sides of the coin. And you can be both. Like we call it collecting letters. Collecting letters, T, I got B, I got L. Didn't have G. I missed the G part, you know. And there's the whole like, oh, did you assume my gender? Stupid like jokes, but like it's really true. That's what they're doing. They're like assuming they know everything about you based on some kind of like look or
Yeah.
sound that they didn't bother to ask. So that's where like if you ask what my pronouns are and I tell you, that's fine. It's not gonna be like weird about it. And now you know you've learned the information from me, just like that lady told me in that call. I am this. I didn't have to ask her. I
Mhm.
learned it, you know, right off the bat, and she told me. So that's why I put pronouns on my thing, so people don't have to ask, so you don't have to make the awkward question. But like, it's never going to be a problem for me to say, "Hey, what are your pronouns?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
So I had a coworker who I deeply respect and I enjoy them a lot, right? They go by they them.
Right.
But there's terms of endearments that I use a lot, like because we were getting. I want to say I was getting close to her. If I'm using a term of endearment, it's either going to be like "girl," okay, like,
Okay.
and this person is female by biologically, and I asked them like, "Can I use girl or should I use bro?" You know what I mean? Like because I
Uh,
don't want to offend them.
so I'm gonna remember how I told you I'd periodically stop and correct you. This is one of those times. The
Uh-huh.
term biological. That's a pet peeve of mine.
Oh,
I am a biological human being.
right.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
so like biological male and biological female, that one assumes a binary, which is there, but also has been weaponized against us. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't use bio, and you don't have
So you
to
say
like,
cis?
and cis is not an attack,
Yeah.
by the way. Yeah,
Yeah.
but if she was assigned female at birth, then she's not cis. Then they
Yeah.
are not cis, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay,
unless,
that part
sure,
I
but this is a good
don't
learning.
know the vocabulary of this community. I try as hard as I
Yeah.
can. You know what I
No, I
mean?
know.
But
And this is not an
yeah,
attack for you, like I
No.
told you. Like I'm not calling you out. I'm just letting you know. But
yeah,
like this is why I'm here to tell you about
Yeah.
it,
yeah,
right?
Right.
yeah,
Right.
So I think the best question for that one is ask them.
yeah,
Be like,
Yeah.
hey, this is a thing that I do. Are you okay with that? And if they say they'll tell you after that, please don't.
Yeah.
Or they'll be like, oh, here's what I like. I like when people call me friend or
yeah,
call
Yeah.
me
Hey,
call
friend,
me
bestie. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, like something like
Yeah.
that. Because
Yeah.
that's like that's giving them the power to choose that. And then you take the information and go, yeah, absolutely. And now you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
You don't have to wonder ever, right? Like people can call me girl. People call me I like it when people call me sweetheart. Like,
mm-hmm.
hey, sweetheart, what's
Hmm.
going on? But I know there are so many women that are like, don't you call me sweetheart. Don't you do that to me.
Yeah,
But for me, it's kind of nice because I never got it before. So I'm like, yeah. But people have to ask me for that. Although my email, one of my old emails did have sweetheart in it. So I was like, it's kind of telegraphing it.
It's
But
implied. Yeah.
yeah, but like the if you want to know for them specifically,
mm-hmm.
just ask them. But then don't turn around and ascribe it to the entire community that uses they them pronouns. Because that's another pitfall that people fall into. They're like, well, my friend who uses they them pronouns likes it when I say homie G. So like everyone else, all trans people, all must be like homie G, but like no, like different
Yeah,
people have different thoughts and different thoughts. So and the only way to know is to ask them.
yeah,
Just be like, I'm sorry, this is gonna be a little awkward, but I really want to know this. I like calling you girl. And I'm not calling you a girl. I'm just like saying, hey, girl, what's up, girl?
yeah,
Are you
Yeah.
okay with that? And if they say, please don't, it's really affected me, then you just don't do it.
yeah,
You know, find something else. Or, and then turn around and go, okay, what can I call you to fill in those spots? And
yeah,
Mhm.
just kind of have that conversation with them and just let them know, you know, and that's easy. And that takes 3 minutes out of your life, if that. And then now you know, and you don't have to worry about it, you know?
And
yeah,
asking the question instead of making the assumption won't offend them. Making the assumption offends people more, right?
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And like,
I did the right thing because I asked
yeah.
Yeah.
because they use bro a lot, and I'm just like, I fucking am not gonna, like if this is how we're gonna connect, I'll use bro, but when
Yeah,
you're
but you just don't like the term bro.
We
Yeah.
It's
don't have
not because
vendetta against
yeah.
bro.
oh yeah, this is not like I'm just saying like I'm gonna be respectful, like,
Yeah.
but when
Yeah.
you're in your like friend rant session, like most of the time if it's like if I start saying like bitch straight up, it's either I really like you a lot, like you
Yeah.
know, or
I get called bitch sometimes,
Yeah.
so I have a great distinction there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can call me bitch if you want to.
Okay.
I am one sometimes. Depends on what day and how much chocolate I've had.
So, okay,
Uh,
great.
yeah, yeah. And then like, look, you're gonna mess up.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
mess up, and every trans person knows people mess up. It's the people that repeatedly mess up over and over and over again and like choose not to learn from their mistakes, that's when it gets really frustrating.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like you're gonna mess up. And one thing to say is if somebody corrects you, just be like, thanks. You don't have to apologize. Don't make it a big deal and don't make it about you. Like just be like,
Very
thanks for
short.
letting me know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simple thank you is great.
Hmm.
Or if you mess up, and this has happened to me several times where I'm talking about a trans person and I'll just say, and she said, and they said, and then just correct yourself and move
Yeah.
on. Don't
Yeah.
even make it a thing. Just be like, they know you messed up. You know you messed up, but you also fixed it immediately. That's the best way to kind of go about that because it happens.
Yeah.
We all do it. Like you said, you're in your flow of ranting with your friends, and you just like it just comes out. My brain moves faster than my mouth. It always has.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So like it does. I make mistakes, and it's how you respond to those mistakes that makes the difference. And I think that's the best way. It's just
The
be like,
intent of it,
yeah.
right?
Don't get defensive if somebody goes like, oh, I didn't know. Well, no, of course you didn't know. That's what I'm telling you. You know, like I'm telling you because you
Yeah.
didn't know, and now you do. You
I
know.
usually say sorry, but then I say sorry for everything all the time. So that's not a that's like,
Yeah,
but I think it's better to be able to just
yeah. And
say
if
thanks, you
I
know.
mean you're gonna say sorry sometimes, and so I just don't. I have one person that I know. I definitely won't call them out, but they always fuck up.
Hmm.
Like they are always bad at it. They've misgendered me. They've misgendered several other people that I know. And then when I correct them, they'll go, "Oh my God, I can't, I can't believe I did that to you. Oh, I'm just everything's wrong with the
Oh
world." Like,
no.
and like,
But then
and
they're
then one of
making it
them,
about
yeah, and
themselves.
I'll be like,
I
"Bitch,
know.
stop! Like,
Yeah.
stop! What you're
Yeah.
doing right now makes no sense. Don't beat yourself up over screwing up a pronoun. Just be like, sorry,
Yeah.
or thanks, and then
Thanks.
move on with your life. And don't make the more you call attention to it, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a federal offense, and it's not a dramatic thing. Just say, nah, I biffed that one. I
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question.
Okay.
Okay.
I hope this has all been usable. Like,
No, this is
Yes.
usable.
people are trash
We
it.
should have you on for multiple
Yeah,
episodes. Are you telling
I want
me?
you on. Like
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. If someone is quietly struggling with their identity right now and is listening to this episode, what do you want them to hear?
I want you to hear that first and foremost, it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to feel your feels right now, but you are so loved. And it may not seem like it because you might be feeling really lonely, or you might be feeling like you are not ready to be who you are, but there's a community of people that are ready, willing, and waiting to celebrate with you when the time comes. And only you can make that decision, not anybody else. But when it is time, we're here for you. Reach out. You have a community. You've got people, and we're happy to celebrate with you.
Oh my god, I was about to cry. Like that's so
I
good.
know. It felt like a hug.
I know. I was just like,
I
oh my
know.
gosh.
I
Holly
wish I heard that when
motivational
I was
speaker
here.
right there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I wish I that's just the stuff that I wish that I heard when I was coming
Yeah.
in. And it's the stuff that I did hear.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the stuff that I was told when I was coming out. They're like, "Hey, you're valid and you matter and you're so important to this world. And what clothes you're wearing or what makeup you put on doesn't make you any less valid or doesn't mean you matter less. It is you as a human being belong here, and we need you to
Yeah.
be here and be happy.
Mhm.
We need that, and we'll do whatever we can to make that happen. The struggle is real, but you're not alone. You're never alone. So I'm gonna bring it back to sports because I always do. But look, I'm a Tottenham Hotspur supporter. I always am. But damn, Liverpool has the greatest slogan. Their slogan is "You'll never walk alone," and this
Oh.
is very true. Like that's the thing. It's like you'll never walk alone. I have a message for allies too, as well,
Yeah.
if you'll have me.
Yeah.
Your support means everything in the world, and we love it. We love having it. Be vocal and be out there for us because it matters more than trans people are saying the things that need to be said. The more that you march, the more that you vote, the more that you let people know, call your congressman, do whatever, that these things that are happening should not be happening, they'll listen because they want to be congressmen still.
Yeah,
And
they
so
want
if,
votes, right?
so if you're a cisgendered ally, and of course cis is not a slur ever. We love our cis friends as much as they love it. It just means on the same side.
Yeah.
It's Greek for on the same side. Trans is
Mhm.
we're on the opposite side. That's really what it means.
Mm-hmm.
But we love that you're in our lives and supporting us. But like if you see transgressions happening in real time, stop it. Say something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
be a voice. Because sometimes I'll tell you this. This is I'm not gonna go another rant because I know we're closing out. But like sometimes I'm at the grocery store, right? And I'm like shopping, and like like the cashier will misgender me, and I get so like surprised that I can't say anything. Like I get frozen, right? And you really want to
Yeah.
talk to them. And I've had several times where someone I've been with goes, actually, she's a she and ma'am, and can you make that right? It means the world
Mm-hmm.
when you step in for us because we can't always fight our own battles like that. We do fight our own battles every day, but like sometimes we just need that extra voice to be like stand up for us and it makes us feel so valid. So as allies, as cisgender allies that you are, the gens, I'm deputizing you to stand up for trans rights and be vocal about it and really let your trans friends know that you love them, you care about them, and they matter because we need them.
Yeah.
We need.
All right, besties, you got your marching orders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for being on the show. And
Yeah.
I hope in the future, when you have
If
time,
you have the
obviously,
time. Yeah.
say yes to us to being on another episode of something interesting.
There's so much more we could learn.
Yeah.
And also like Ren Fair, anything
Yeah.
Oh
cool.
yeah.
Like,
And I'm learning
cosplay.
too. Like I'm
Yeah.
always learning too. So I might have new information for you next time. You never know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But also have other trans people on. Like talk to more trans voices, not just me. Because like I said,
Right.
all of our stories are
You don't
different.
Yeah.
represent everybody.
I
It's your
know. I'm not.
story.
We're not a microcosm. Like
Yeah.
we are a big community and vast, and we all have different experiences. And you'll be so much more enriched if you listen to more than one trans person talking.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I agree.
Well, thank you, Holly, again for being on the show.
It's just awesome. We hope we have you back again.
Yes, I am picturing so much potential new episodes that doesn't necessarily need to talk about the LGBTQ community, but I would love commentary of, cosplay or even books.
Right. I was just going to say, definitely can join our book club. That would be awesome.
I would love that. Holly, you're in. So, Jen, how's wedding planning?
Wedding planning is still happening. I I just tried to almost do a 180 on my dress and like do a totally different idea, like go very bohemian. And even though I already have a dress,
yeah, I was all like,
I know.
Don't you have a dress?
I do, but I was like, oh, I really want it to be bright and bold, and my dress is not bright and bold. It's like sleek and white. And then I showed my fiance what it was, and he was like, your dress you have now is really nice. So
nice.
So yeah, so I just have to like, I think that the first time I got married to my son's father, I had everything kind of set, and I had like a binder like Monica on Friends. Like I had an organizer and stuff. And this time it's like, we're all gonna hang out, and we're almost 50, so I don't need to do all of these things. So, and my energy is gone. So yeah, it's just it's happening. And
it's experience.
It's going to be an experience. And then we also need to figure out our music. So,
DJ Spotify did a new feature.
That's what we're going to do. We're definitely going to do DJ Spotify or, a playlist of some sort, because I think we're just going to go buy one of those like speaker setups with a mic and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like I want to get one with cool lights though, because that's like a party in a speaker. So,
is your wedding going to be a Filipino wedding? Everybody doing karaoke?
I mean, if we could, I would, but the location we're at, you can't have live music. You can only have recorded music.
But if it was like they're singing with the song, like, okay, default, my karaoke music is Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I usually sing I Want You to Want Me by Cheap Trick. So
yeah, if they have that playing in the background and you're singing to it.
Here's the deal. I always sing when I listen to music anyways. So there will be singing happening, and there will be pantomime dancing, because that's the best way to dance. And so it's going to be fun. People are going to laugh, and it's going to be a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
So how are you feeling? How's your burnout meter going?
Man, the job market is, again, tough.
Yeah.
As always, but it's the game of like keeping your spirits high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just going,
Yeah.
So the burnout meter, if we're saying,
are you burned out on the job hunt? Is that what?
Yeah, I am burned out from the job hunt. Yeah. Just kind of like,
it is what it is. Like,
I know.
It's hard to stay motivated when, you keep getting like
no's.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Now but for actors, like,
auditions and stuff, right?
Auditions no's all the time. So like, I feel all of us who are in the job market are like actors.
Yeah, and you have to face the rejection, and it's just, if you haven't worked through that and, have an understanding that it's not a reflection of you, it's so many other things. It's hard. And I understand being discouraged is not something that's fun at all. And it's hard to stay motivated and not feel burned out when you're just getting, no's or crickets. Yeah.
Yeah. So no hot takes, just burned.
Yeah. I think that I am pretty burned out too. Uh-huh. It's just so many things happening right now, and I'm just, trying to keep all the plates spinning right now.
Yeah.
But I do feel lucky because like my family has been doing a lot to help with the house, and because most women, we take care of the house even if we're working full time.
Yeah, it's unfair.
And so I have been doing that because that's the way I was raised, and that's just kind of like my go-to. But now like my son and my fiance are both helping with a lot of things, and including laundry. So hallelujah. I'll take it.
Are you guys the modern family now?
Yes, we are, and I'm very thankful for it because I need the help. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, kudos for you.
It's a good thing we're not on camera today because I look like a hot mess.
Do you remember the show Full House?
Yes.
Do you think, is it Danny? The dad's name was
Danny Tanner. Mm-hmm.
So if he was a organized freak or a germaphobe,
right? Yeah.
Do you think he was a making of the modern dad in a sense of like keeping the house, like domestic chores and stuff?
Yeah, he was definitely like Mr. Mom, that character. I mean, that was part of the
lore.
Yeah, it was definitely like, oh, this show's different because the guy's doing things that women do.
That is sexy.
He's doing laundry and he's
sexy.
Doing dishes. Right.
Sexy.
Well, that's what people don't always understand is that like, if you're taking care of me, that's freaking hot. So like doing the laundry, taking out the trash, whatever, those things, very attractive. So
I kind of wish they like Daddy Tanner actually was more showcased in his dating life and the desirability of this
being a single dad,
but like a domestic single dad,
right? Holding down the fort and everything,
but doing feminine chores,
right?
Like you have Uncle Jesse
with his hair,
and I don't even fucking know what he was doing.
Yeah, he was just rocking because he was in a band, and And
how about Uncle Joey?
Joey was a comedian. He said, "Cut it out."
But yeah, but like, what
you ought to know. But so yeah, I don't know. I mean, like he was the comedy relief, and Jesse was the cool one. And
yeah, but okay, if you had an Uncle Jesse living in your house and he's like making trash, you know what I mean? Like messy,
I would definitely be like over it.
Yeah, he's ready for the boo.
Yeah, I would be like, I don't care if you live in the basement. I don't care if you play with the Beach Boys and you're on,
I don't care if you bring
Kokomo.
hot people into the house, you know?
You need to help because I mean at that point, like they're supposed to all move in together because like Uncle Jesse is the brother of the wife,
the dead wife. Yeah.
So it's supposed to be like they all come together to make up for the mom not being there, but it's not really the way the show goes. Yeah. But that's like the intro, like that's the way the pilot is. It's like we'll all come together and help, which is cool. But then nobody wants to see people doing the chores though. Like you don't turn on TV and go, "Oh my God, I hope they're weed eating right now." Like you don't do that, you know.
Do you remember hanging with Mr. Cooper?
I loved hanging with Mr. Cooper.
He did chores.
He did.
And he was living with 2 women. God, that's so sexy. Or like when LL Cool J had his own show.
Oh, I loved his show. Well, he's hot anyway.
Yeah. Eye candy galore.
I know.
LL Cool J.
Ladies really do love him. That's true. Yeah. Including this lady. And he was a person who was contributing to the household. And I think nowadays we have to, I mean, there's a lot of people who want to do trad wife stuff. And if that's your jam and you can afford to do that, go for it. But if you're living in California and have to like
have dual income
to pay for things, then you should also have dual chores because it's not fair for one person to do it all.
Yeah. For sure.
That's why I'm burned out because I just hit the wall because I've been doing things and it's not because anyone has said I need to do it. It's because that's the way I grew up and that's my, factory setting. So like same. A VCR that just flashes zeros, that aged me. But, but that's, I have to remind myself.
Yeah.
And I talked to my therapist about it. I talked to my partner about it. I talked to my son about it. That my go-to is just to jump up and do stuff.
Yeah.
And they have to remind me to stop doing that. And I have to remind myself.
Well, anyways, to training men.
Oh gosh. I'm sure there's more guys out there that are helping out with things too.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
All right, besties, we'll see you next time.
Jen squared out.
Woo!